I've got audio. You've got audio.
I've got audio. You've got audio.
We've
As
got
the
audio.
song goes.
Yeah.
It's the audio song.
Why can't I hear anything? Oh, that's why.
Oh, that suggests you haven't got
No,
audio.
it's... Do it... Game? Chat? I don't know. Oh. Spotify's very loud.
Oh, Danica.
Yeah, I had to change my output device. In Windows
Crucial.
10. There we go. It's all there now, mate. It's there. Wow,
Their Windows PCs. I don't know nothing about Windows, mate.
There's a massive delay on my camera, and I don't know why, but I don't really care, right, meow? I'm fine with that.
Meow.
Probably because I only turn my PC on like once every week, if that at the moment. But hey ho.
Could be that.
Could be that. Just fucked it up for some reason.
Right.
Yeah, mate.
Let's do the thing.
Podcast. Let's
Here we go.
do this. Yes.
Hello and welcome to the JfG Podcast. This is episode 261. My name's Alex, and I'm joined by Ash, who is my good friend, and we are podcasting. And
that's me.
It's been a few weeks, hasn't it, buddy?
It's
How
been
you doing
at
there?
least.
You all right?
Yeah, mate. About 2 week, I'd say. About 2 week.
About 4 hour. About 4 hour, I'd say. Yeah. 2 week.
Couple of dozen.
I've been on holiday.
Yeah, you went on holiday. How was that? Was it good?
Yeah, I did what any person going on holiday should, in my humble opinion, be doing at this point. I went on holiday having quarantined for a fortnight so that I could spend normal time with the people I was going with, aka parents, who also did the same. And we went to somewhere quite isolated, and we just had a time near the beach. We didn't go to any shops or pubs, and we didn't do anything like that. We just got drunk and listened to music and went on the beach. And
That sounds good.
that is the only holiday that appeals to me in this very strange time in the history of the world, buddy.
It's a great time to be alive. I'm baffled every day with what the hell is going on. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, my workplace is now a COVID outbreak center. So happy days for me. I've got to self-isolate probably for 2 weeks now, I reckon.
You're staying put. You're out of there.
I'm gonna give him a ring tomorrow and be like, hey, do I need to come into work or not? Because my boss has tested positive. So we'll see. It's totally fucked up everything that I had planned for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, happy days.
You're welcome. There you go.
Yeah.
Welcome to the party.
Fuck my life.
As they say.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
lots of fun there, and obviously nice to get away for a spell, and that's why I wasn't on. And then the sorted stuff. I've had lots of housey stuff to do. Still trying to get this move over the line. Obviously, lengthy, boring process that I won't talk about on here. But tester pots are expensive. I'd like to talk about that if I may.
Yeah, you've been buying some tester pots, eh?
Holy shit, tester pots. Very expensive. Obviously, looking at some of the designer paints, because you're going to want that extra pigment.
Oh,
and,
yeah, you do, buddy.
It's only a small space, so, worth splashing out the extra versus the more synthetic paints. So, yeah, but I think I've spent £60 on tester pots. And
wow.
Another like £15 today. So, but, what can you do? And more importantly and more interestingly, and this appears to have become something, hasn't it? Whatever's going on here. 2 things that I've bought this week, buddy. Well, I've bought other things and I'm selling my car, but 2 things that I've bought.
It's a wheeler dealer.
Yeah. I'm a little bit shufty, a little bit way. First thing I've bought is a pineapple lamp.
Right.
It's a golden pineapple lamp with a golden velvet lampshade. It's supposed about 60 centimeters tall. It's a golden pineapple lamp. What do you think of that?
I mean,
your initial thoughts,
hey.
a hot take from you, if I may.
I went lamp shopping at the weekend. Bought 2 new lamps as well. They were the touchy ones. They were like brass, I don't know, like teardrop shape. A bit, While I was in there, I saw, I think it was a cat-shaped lamp. Took the piss out of that. Saw, they're just general animal-shaped lamps, but I didn't see any fruit or vegetable-shaped lamps. So,
well, there you go. I mean, I did have to laugh at obviously bringing this back to the podcast somewhat in this era of we're waiting for the new consoles to come out. The lamp is an antique limited edition lamp, and it's not out until the 6th of October. So I didn't buy a pineapple lamp, buddy.
Pre-ordered.
I pre-ordered a golden pineapple lamp this week.
How
purchase.
How is it antique if it's not out yet?
I know it's just a word, isn't it, that they're using quite disingenuously. But the price didn't reflect antique, so that was fine by me.
That's always good news.
Absolutely.
I'm a fan
of that.
Yeah.
That's my first purchase I'd like to mention. It's not the weirdest of the two.
Oh.
I think the second one's weirder.
Go on then. I mean,
Okay.
That's quite hard to top a pineapple lamp. I mean, or is it?
This week I was watching the Steve-O channel on YouTube because of course I was.
Because we're in this pandemic and, that's life now.
Who do you want to learn from in this difficult time? The answer is Steve-O from
Obviously.
Jackass.
Yeah.
No, I've been watching quite a lot of skating documentaries because of the game that I've been playing this week. Which I'll talk about a little bit later on. So anyway, Steve-O
Dogtown and Z-Boys, buddy.
He's doing a charity drive, inspired by Tony Hawk, who did a similar charity drive, where he did a mental thing. Then got a picture of, and then he signed it and sold it, and gave all the money to charity. And Steve-O wanted to get involved, and Tony Hawk was like, "Oh, I'll help with that." And Steve-O famously got quite a nasty injury during a wall ride back in the day, and then they devised this idea for a charity picture where Steve-O does a wall ride and then Tony Hawk does a wall ride above Steve-O.
Classic.
So on top of each other.
Yeah,
a wall ride.
double stack. Got you.
Double stack. They did it multiple times. They eventually nailed it. Tony Hawk and Steve-O signed the pictures. I'm watching the video. I find myself reaching for my phone. I'm on steveo.com and I'm like, I'll have a bit of that. I'll have a bit of that one. That's a hilarious thing to buy. So I did. So it was dispatched from Albuquerque today,
Nice.
Steve-O's house, I think.
Yeah.
Winging its way to me is a framed, signed picture of Steve-O and Tony Hawk doing wall rides over the top of each other, which is going to take pride of place in my new hall if I ever get in my new hall.
I love it.
So,
that's beautiful, buddy. Congratulations. And it's for charity as well. So
it's all for charity.
Everything's
and
good.
Postage was £5, which I thought was quite reasonable.
That's ridiculous. That's well good.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my 2 purchases for the week. I don't know how we got there, but there we are, buddy. That's all I have to say on the matter.
I bought lamps, and I bought a comic book because
nice.
I went into Nottingham Town Centre at the weekend.
Dangerous.
I know. Yeah. I haven't been in there for a very long time. I can't literally remember the last time I was in there because I never go there. Because why would I? But anyway, no. So the reason I went in is because Sports Direct is there, and it's my daughter's birthday in 2 weeks. And she needed, we were treating her to some nice new AstroTurf boots, some fancy ones, some lovely. Nice. We got some nice Adidas ones, and because she's not like a beefcake, she's quite, I'd say dainty, but she's not. She's like ruthless. She will kick you and everything. Like she'll just go at it. She's a feisty one. But, she hasn't got a lot of meat on her. So we were looking at the Astro boots, that kind of go up the ankle a little bit more to give her some protection. Because she had her first actual football game, not last weekend, the weekend before. Oh, mate, she smashed it. She's well good. She's like head and shoulders above everyone else at Ace. I was like that proud.
Nice.
It was a great proud dad moment, you know.
Yeah.
They're few and far between, but I was like, yes. But she came away with some like big old bruises around her ankles and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, we should probably do something about that, because at that age, at like 6, whoever's like semi good at like holding onto the ball, everyone just charges at them and kicks shit out of them, because that's football at 6 years old.
Yes.
But anyway, I don't know where I'm going this. What was I talking about? I bought stuff.
Got some shoes in Nottingham.
Oh, yeah. And while I was in Nottingham, I went into Forbidden Planet, like the place that sells like loads of weird. I say weird stuff, like geek stuff. Like what are the stupid big head figurines and stuff like that. That stuff.
Oh yeah.
And comic books and loads of collectible stuff. It was cool, actually. There was loads of gaming stuff in there. Like there was like Overwatch and I don't know, other stuff. There was like Crash Bandicoot. They had all the Mario Kart like cushions. I was like, I want them because they're really cool.
Fucking right.
But then I realised they were like 20 quid each. I'm like, I don't want them because they're expensive. That's where I stopped with that. But I bought, I don't know, about a year ago, I read, I think it was like the Kick-Ass Prelude or something. I don't know. It was like a hardback book. It wasn't massive, but I read it and I was like, it was like, I think it's the only comic kind of thing I've actually like read and enjoyed. And I was just on Amazon the other day. I tried to find, because I think they've done like a trilogy of books. I tried to find it in this Forbidden Planet, but they didn't have it. But I found it on Amazon for £3.50, so I bought it. So there you go.
Nice.
I bought that as well. There you go. That's stuff that's happened in my life. Happy days.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Fucking sweet. Well, with all that said and done, the topic for this week's podcast is video games.
Video games,
kind
just
of
in
forgotten
case.
what we sort of do and don't do.
I listened
anymore.
Randomly. YouTube suggested me to listen to like, it was like episode 59, when a child is born. So I was like, you know what? I will. I listened to about 20 minutes of it. I was like, wow, we were really like chipper and excited, and like our production was really good. We had like cuts between sections and theme tunes and stuff, and now we're just like, nah.
We hadn't given up at that point, I suppose. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going to give up...
200 later,
like,
here we are.
2020 is the year of giving up. It has to be.
Just give up. It's the slogan. It's the catchphrase for the year.
Just give up, yeah.
Just
it's
give
like,
up. Just
it's
be
the
like,
opposite
I've
to
achieved
Nike.
solace.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just don't do it.
Flip the tick round.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. But anyway, luckily
Video
games are still sort of
They're
here.
about, yeah.
This isn't going to go particularly well either. But what are you drinking this evening, buddy? Just out of interest.
This evening, buddy, I'm on Oakermail Citra Session IPA.
Ooh.
It's one of my favourites, and I've actually bought a shitload of Molten Citra this week, which should have got delivered today, but it didn't, so I'm a bit pissed off about that. But yeah, I'm going to try and recreate this. Yeah, obviously. Recreate this one next. It's a lovely, like, golden blonde-ish, I would say. But yeah,
Lovely
beer. And what about you, buddy? What are you tanking this evening?
I'm on the shipyard again, buddy, because at the moment the shipyard is 10 cans for £9.
There you go. That's what you want.
And it's a nice beer that's cheap as well.
It is.
Usually the two things don't tend to coincide very often.
They don't.
So when you find one, you really got to grab on. And that's what I've done, buddy. I'm riding that all the way.
There was... they also do... You can get... I don't know. One of the offers that Tesco were great for was... what's the brand? Custom Lager or whatever it is. They do flat tire and stuff like that. And they do... Yeah, sometimes you can get like 12 like little stubbers for £9. That's a good one. It's like a variety pack. as well.
That sounds like something I need to keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out for that, mate.
As I'm once again stocking the fuck up
Yeah.
as we head into the abyss that is
Wave
COVID
2.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking might as well stop playing the Metro games now because that is your life.
I love it.
As it probably will be. No, maybe
I installed the Division 2 again just for fun, so I could see what it's going to turn out to be like. Yeah.
Lovely. Well,
yeah,
I'm playing some games. I'm going to talk about them.
Yeah, I've played some games. I won't really talk about them. I've been playing shitloads of Minecraft, which is fun, but no one cares about that. I started playing a couple of games so far, and one is As Far as the Eye, which is like a hexagon-based resource game, which I had to read a lot to try and work out what the fuck I'm doing. You got to get these guys from point A to point B whilst harvesting shit and not dying and watching out for a massive flood or something. I think that's the gist. There was a lot of reading. After reading a lot, I needed to take a break. So I decided to play Crusader Kings 3, which I've never played before. That also involved like even more reading.
Shit.
And after 2 hours of reading, I was done. So I took a break from that. But, I got myself married. I got my son married during that. I had a bit of a fight with some guys in Ireland. Just fucking mincing about the place trying to win. I don't know how. You can't really win in that game, I guess. Just have get my dynasty or dynasty up to max level. Get them numbers up, I guess. That's what I'm trying to do.
Max level dynasty. Fucking have a bit of
really,
a rumble.
Yeah. That's what I've been playing apart from other game, which we'll talk about together. Yeah. Not a lot from me, mate, this week. Just a lot of reading, which is not like me at all.
That's not games.
That's not games. Not in my book. Reading is not games. Apart from text adventures. Now, at least with that, you're getting in for a bit of reading.
You know what you've signed up for, and you can only blame yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So what about you, buddy?
I've been playing. I've had a little Game Pass sort of cheeky shifty.
Soiree?
So I've got some Game Pass games to talk about, and I will do that now. Tell Me Why.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
Ain't no... Yeah. Tell Me Why. It's from Don't Nod. It's the Life is Strange people. They've made a new game. It's called Tell Me Why. It's similar to Life is Strange. It's
okay.
A slightly improved engine on Life is Strange, but to my eyes is the same engine.
It's the same.
Just
okay.
Nicer.
Yeah.
Rezzed a bit.
Got you.
So yeah, this I bounced off of this. I feel like I gave it a good go. I think I played it for an hour.
Yeah.
And it's all story. There's not really any mechanics there. This game annoyed me.
Cool.
It annoyed me because the story was introduced very gradually, and I felt like it could have been a really good story. The story is these two twins, and they're very young and they're living out in the sticks with their mum, and their mum is fucking nuts.
Cool.
And she's like a taskmaster, and they're like basically abused, if not sexually, then at least abused
mentally,
having to do
physically,
all mental chores and shit. And one day one of the twins gets a haircut and goes and shows it to the mum, kind of knowing that the mum's going to lose her mind, and the mum basically turns a gun on the kid, and the kid ends up wrestling it away and killing the mum.
Nice.
And then the kid ends up in like various institutions.
Yeah.
During which
killing
time
his mum.
The kid changes gender and becomes a boy, and so this is like 12 years later, and the twin girl is picking up the twin boy from this place, and they're going to deal with the house, which they haven't been back to since.
Now that you've said all of that, I remember seeing the trailer or something for
Yeah.
this. Yes, I
So,
remember.
so the reason that I'm annoyed by this game is that is a fucking great story.
That's
Like
incredible.
that's a really
That's
cool story.
compelling and rich.
There's so much that you can do with that,
Of course.
and therefore, for the opening 60 minutes of this video game, I should not have been bored, and
But...
I really was. I was really bored. So that was annoying. The next thing that was annoying was when it finally gave me control, which is a fairly lengthy period into the game. It provided me with a door and a window. I was like, I'm not going to try the door because, it's probably locked. It's a video game. And I tried the window, and then the twin sisters, like, basically ripping the piss out of me for trying the window.
Nice.
And then I try the door, and it's locked. And she's like, I've got the key. And I'm like, well, what the fuck
am I doing
is this?
here then? What am I
Why
doing here?
did you send me to go up first?
Yeah.
Why are you mocking me for trying the window? The door is now locked, so you're a prick. And then she tries the key, and that doesn't work. So she hasn't even tested beforehand whether the lock. Now, obviously, I've ventured into a story beat here, but frankly, you give me control of a video game, and then basically call me a cunt, and then it doesn't even make sense at all. That's really annoying. And then, like, shortly afterwards, and this is a minor spoiler for the first hour.
No.
Shortly afterwards, they go around. You wander around the property aimlessly looking for a way in, which is fucking stupid because there's about 10 ways in.
Yeah.
But you can't do any of them because the game's so restrictive mechanically.
Love it.
And then you go around to the back and there's a garage, and you look through into the garage, and then you see like a memory. You see like a vision memory.
Flashback,
of see through. Yeah. Except then you sort of turn around and it's like, wow, what was that? And then your sister's like, oh, I saw it too. And then they're like, well, it must be that connection like we had when we were little. And then follows like 3 paragraphs of dialogue that basically tells you, actually, this is a supernatural game and they've got some sort of psychic link with one another. But it's so pathetically written, so matter of fact, out of nowhere with no mention of it beforehand.
Yeah,
but also,
like,
oh,
do you remember? We can fly.
And I was confused from the start because I knew from the opening sort of the spiel that I saw, I think at a previous E3, that this is in the Life is Strange universe, and therefore there's probably going to be supernatural elements. But I have to say, just like first impressions are very important. For the opening hour of a game, this is fucking pathetic, and I never want to play it again.
Cool.
And I suspect it probably gets quite good. And as I said, the story is great. I like the fact that I'm playing a game where I'm probably going to be personifying like a trans character that doesn't feel crowbarred into the situation. Like this isn't like a sort of super left wing. We must do a trans character thing. It felt like it's a good story. It's a really, and you could imagine that being an excellent movie as well if they turned out. But like to take that sort of subject matter, like a manslaughter, a trans case, like all of these things, and just do such a shit job of introducing it with all that material that you've got. I'm sorry, but I was done with it at that point. So in conclusion, if you're a bit more patient than I am, then perhaps you could find something to love here. I mean, they're putting this chapter by chapter onto Game Pass, and I repeat again, this has the grounds for an excellent tale. If you like that sort of storytelling, I'm walking around rather than actually mechanically playing a video game. This might be for you. But I was so fucking annoyed by it that I turned it off, and I also uninstalled it instantly. So it's gone. So there you are.
Fair days, buddy.
It's just really annoying. Maybe I'm just got like a real short fuse. I don't know, but I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. Anyway, Hotshot Racing is also on Game Pass. It is an arcade racing game involving a lot of drifting. It's kind of like got a bit of an Outrun vibe. It's got sort of blocky cel-shaded graphics, and it's really cool. I like it a lot, but it does have its issues, and those issues are an intense amount of rubber banding, which is dialed up to 11 even if you're playing it on super easy. You never win by more than a second. So it's just a case of, on the third lap, once you've stored up all of your boost, just release all boost 20 seconds from the line and you'll win every time. And that makes it very difficult for there to be a difficulty curve, because from my experience, I felt like I was driving kind of flawlessly, and it seemed to me like the only difference between easy and hard was you have to continuously use your boost all the time on hard to keep up with them. But even if you get out ahead of them, they'll catch you whatever you do because of the rubber banding. It's an arcade racing game. I guess they're supposed to be like that, and perhaps it was a bit galling because it's been ages since I've played one. But I think there's quite a lot to like here. It's got some multiplayer shit as well that looks like it could be a bit of a hoot. But just fair warning, like I think the difficulty is kind of fake, and if that's something that's going to matter to you, then I mean, I don't remember, man. Do you remember like games like Outrun, Lotus Turbo Challenge, Road Rash? Presumably all these games like back in the day had like intense rubber banding in them. Do you remember like that sort of thing when you were little?
I never. Well, I mean,
you had like F-Zero, I guess.
We went through them all. Yeah, but I don't know. There was never like a clear-cut win by like a massive difference, But
same with Mario Kart, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same, isn't it? Like, I don't know. I don't think you pay attention to that stuff when you're younger because you're just having fun.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Yeah, I was probably over-analysing to a degree. Either way, this is really cool. Like, there's loads of content. There's cool tracks. The graphics are nice. It runs really well. It's fun. I like it. It's good, and well worth a play. It's,
nice, cool,
decent,
good.
So the only other thing I have played without you, or rather, you haven't played as well. FIFA 20. I've been playing. I finally sat down for some pro clubs on FIFA 20 for the first time with friend of the podcast Pete. And what can I say? It's exactly the same as it has been for the last, I suppose,
4,
8,
5, 10.
It was FIFA 08, wasn't it? We got into it. So
I think so. Yeah.
In 09, they changed it from every player's like an 85 average to half-star
teams,
then
wasn't
slowly
it?
goes up.
But
so yeah, 11,
is that what it
11.
is now as well? It's you pick the team, you start off as a half-star. It's still the same. It's not like your pro characters or like what's the stupid things where you buy players for packs.
The Ultimate Team and stuff. So that's coming in this year for FIFA 21. Is going to have co-op Ultimate Team.
Yes.
And that's something that you've been able to do on PES for about 4 seasons now.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. We did it on PES, didn't we? Yeah.
It takes like a selection of each of your players.
Yes, I remember.
I'd imagine that's how Ultimate Team co-op will work as well. Either that or you'll just come into someone else's team and play with them or whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, this is an 11-year-old game mode that's is completely untouched since 2009.
Cool.
It's shit. It's rubbish. All of the games that we played, you've got exactly the same problems that you've had on FIFA for years, where in a pro clubs mode, everyone you are playing is 4 foot tall, so they can be ultimate speed, like as fast as they can be, and your opponent will continually just balloon long balls. And they've kind of fixed over the top through balls, but they've made it so that the players are so fast, these little players, that you can actually just manually ping long balls like down the channels.
Yeah, and
without even aiming at a player, and they'll still get there in time.
Nice. That's what you want.
We played like 5 games. They were all absolute dog shit. Friend of the podcast, Pete, was like, "Oh, I'm really excited. Everyone's picking up FIFA this year. We can play pro clubs." I was like, "Yeah, that's not going to fucking happen."
No.
Mate. Forget that right now based on this evening's experience. But yeah, it's pretty shit, to be honest. I think I'll still pick up FIFA because I really enjoy the career mode. I've enjoyed FIFA 20's career mode, and it looks like they've actually done quite a lot of work on career mode for FIFA 21, which is amazing. Again, completely untouched for a decade, that fucking mode. Just a pathetic company. I might as well bring in from other shit right now. They've been collared this week, EA, for advertising the purchasing of FIFA points in the Smith Toys catalogue. They've put an ad out in the Smith Toys catalogue.
There you go.
Which is essentially like Argos catalogue of the 90s for children to just peruse over and decide what they want for Christmas.
Oh yeah, we've gone through that already.
Full page advert for Ultimate Team encouraging children to buy fucking FIFA points. Literally says, buy things with FIFA points. They are absolute fucking asshole company.
You gotta love it.
Fuck you bastards. Anyway, they got a massive kicking, and they've apologised, saying that they always try and uphold the highest standards, and they will investigate as if it was like an accident.
No, they don't. They always try and
put an advert in
yeah.
a kid's toy catalogue. Whoops. Yeah,
It's just not good enough.
makes you not want to give them any money.
Whoa. That's up to you, buddy.
I suppose it is. Anyway, those are the games that I've been playing other than my big purchase this week.
Yeah, you've won the game of buying games, buddy.
Found I had a CD keys voucher that I hadn't used.
Just
which I thought was quite
sitting
funny.
around.
It was just lying around there, buddy. And I was
there.
like, what should I buy with it? And the answer was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Yeah, this confused the shit out of me. I didn't think you wanted to buy this game. I wasn't really that fussed. After, I've slandered the game. It's not the kind of game that I want anymore. In a skateboarding game, I want a more realistic one, like Skater XL or Sessions or whatever it is. The new ones that are kind of on the brink. Apparently, they're doing Skate 4 as well, but that's not going to be for a long, long time. I really enjoyed where those games were going and took skateboarding. But so yeah, like when you were like, yeah, I've got this. Do you want it? I was like, sure, of course, I'll have it. Yeah. But yeah, I've also played this game, buddy. It's it's been a fucking delight. Let's put it that way.
This is a fantastic remake of a video game.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Like, absolutely brilliant. It's I've played the fucking balls off this. I completed it last night.
He's completed it.
All of the standard stuff. I mean, there's I think there's 750 custom challenges that you can track individually. They all lead to rewards and so on. So it's got this sort of ridiculous progression in it if you like that sort of thing. But I'm talking about just your 2-minute like runs. Collect the skate, smash the boxes, find the secret tape, all of that stuff. Just playing a game because it's really fun for 2 minutes and then being like, I'll do that again, actually. That was really good. Just that. I've done that for hours. I love this game so much. I never owned a Tony Hawk's game until Underground 2. So I was very late to proceeding. So I didn't have a PS1, and that was kind of what it was. That was the bread and butter.
It was the main one. It did come out on pretty much everything else at the time as well.
Yeah, I don't know what I was playing on at the time. I think it was PC for a spell, and then I got a Dreamcast, and I did have a demo of some Tony Hawk's. I think it might have been 4 on the Dreamcast. Just a demo. I never actually had the game, but this. As such, I didn't really know what the limitations of the first one versus the second one were, like in terms of manuals and reverts and that sort of thing. But this has got all of that kind of inherently across the board. You pick a character and you can play a whole campaign across both games. So they've got all of the first game's levels or the second game's levels. They've got the full-blown skate park editor as well, which is really intensely, like, you can build amazing stuff in that. Even I could. I was playing around with it. And also a full-blown sort of Mario Maker-esque, Trials-esque. Download any other person's skate park that's published one, and you can play theirs as well.
Which is awesome.
Multiplayer modes. This has got a free-run mode in it where you can play with up to 12 friends, all just in the lobby, all just skating around together on these classic maps.
Just having a brush.
And then you can do all of the sort of, the like horse and score attack and all of that sort of classic stuff. It's Tony Hawk's. I think most people know what Tony Hawk's is. What I have to say is it controls like a fucking dream, and I found myself getting. I'm now way better at Tony Hawk's than I ever was when it was like prevalent in the sort of late 90s. And you said that as someone who's played the old ones relatively recently. You were saying immediately like, this thing controls amazingly well. It's way better than the original.
The big thing with like the Tony Hawk's games was getting the feeling right. Like the original one, it just felt right. Like the jump, like the ollie, the gravity of the whole thing. It was arcadey, obviously, but not to like stupid heights. You still had certain amounts of realism in there. Like, yeah, you can only ollie up so high, but like, obviously, if you go off like a half pipe or like a quarter pipe or something, you can get like ridiculous amounts of air and things like that. And yeah, you can grind for ever and ever if you're good enough, kind of thing. And then, like you say, the inclusions of manuals. I think that was the main thing that came in with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. Really, that was when things just went insane for me. I was just like, what? You can string all these tricks together, and then like you can like make all your own like lines up, like from where you start, and then you can plan like your whole route out. It's really good. They've absolutely smashed the remake of it. Like graphically, this thing's beautiful. Like
that looks great.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, like the first one came out in what, like 96? I don't know. I can't even remember when did it come out? No, was it 2 years?
That's about right.
Was it? I can't even remember. Yeah, it must have been around that time because it was early years of secondary school. And yeah, obviously it was on the PlayStation 1. It didn't run well and it looked like balls, but fuck me, it was a skateboarding game and it was awesome.
99.
99. Close enough, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, this game, it's super slick, super smooth. It's just really nice. It's like the soundtrack is mainly there. They've added some more to it, which is fine. I do love it when one of the classic songs come on because I'm like, yeah, that brings me back once again.
Some of them I like more than others in terms of the new stuff. There's a couple of ones where it's like revisiting bands. Like there's an MXPX one on there that's from like 2017 that I actually quite like, and that's kind of cool. There's a couple of things on there that I'm not like super keen on, but it's got that sort of tracks editor. You can kind of tick and untick whatever you want to listen
exactly.
to.
So customize it as much as you want. I love the fact that it's got all like the original decks for the skateboards on there because like I had some of them when I was young. I was like, yeah, sweet. I was straight away. I went for like my Chad Musker one that I had, like the red one. That was like my favorite deck when I was like 16 or 15 or whatever. But yeah, it's a great game. They've done a really good job. I've played. I think I've pretty much finished off the original game now, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. Yeah. And it's just been really nice going to those venues, especially the fact that we've got revert and manuals with this remake. And obviously in the original game, they didn't have manuals. So you just had to go mental and try and do as many things as possible and link them together without like transitioning from ramp to you can go ramp to ramp, but no, you can't. You couldn't go ramp to ramp.
No, you couldn't. As soon as you landed, that was it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fantastic game, and like you say, there's so much customizable stuff. Like I made my own little skate dude. I bought him some like new jeans and a new hat, and I was like, yeah. And it seems to just chuck. Well, I don't. For me, it seems to be just chucking money and XP at me for completing God knows what challenges. Like after every run, it's like, here you go. There's some more crap. I'm like, cool.
I found I got to the end of the whole campaign of both games, and I'd only done 75 challenges out of 750. So I've done 10% of all challenges, and the way that they do the challenge system, it's really cool. It reminded me actually of Destiny to a degree, in the way that you sort of highlight and tick certain tasks that you're doing at that time, and then it follows context to each one and ticks things off. And there's some cool stuff. Like one of them is do 4 of the following things, and there's like 10 options, so it's quite inclusive in terms of like your skill level, how good you are. And as I repeat, I was rubbish at these games when I was younger, but there's just something about this version It just kind of makes sense to me. I kind of understand it all. I think I'm a little bit more patient, maybe a little bit less button mashy. And I'm quite happy. I sort of quite happily made my way through the campaign. At the start of it, I was struggling to clear like 60,000 points in a 2-minute run. By the end of it, I was up towards sort of 300,000-400,000 in a 2-minute run, and that's an amazing sort of thing that it's taught me there over the course of not a very long time. But bags of content. It plays beautifully. Like, it doesn't feel like an old game at all.
No, they've done a cracking job. Really good. I didn't have any high hopes, especially after the last Tony Hawk. What was it? I don't know, 8 or something. 5. Whatever came out, and that was just absolute dog shit. But no,
even the remake they did on the last gen was pretty toilet, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it didn't work out very well.
No,
the same dudes who made 5. So
it's all to do with like the physics of the whole thing. It didn't look like, or it didn't feel like how it should play. You know what I mean? Whereas this feels like how it plays. You know, it feels right.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
a good game.
It's really good. Highly recommended. And it's obviously they're old games, but it's 2 games, and it's not full price either. I think RRP is £40. 40
quid,
you probably pick it up shortly for sort of 25. That's a bargain. It's really good.
I would say so. I forgot to mention I've been playing some Among Us, the new internet hit sensation game that's been out for like 2 years.
People are going mental for that just all of a sudden.
They love it.
It's just Trouble in Terrorist Town, isn't it?
Yeah,
basically?
it's pretty much Trouble in Terrorist Town. If you don't know what that is, there's so many people on a spaceship or wherever you are. One guy is a imposter. You have to stealthily kill everyone on the ship, or make the ship kind of blow up, because all the other people have to run around and do tasks. And when they finish off the checklist, if they're not dead, then they win. The imposter loses. Or when a body is found, they can call a meeting and they say, "Oh, found green dude in electrical," or whatever. And then everyone has like a discussion and be like, "Well, where were you? Where were you? Where were you? What were you doing?" And they try and work out who's who and what's what. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, it'd be more fun playing with friends. I've just been playing with randoms on my phone, and then like I say, like, I saw yellow kill a dude, and they're like, "Nah, you're sus," or whatever, and then I get booted out, and it was actually yellow who killed a dude, not me. Hey ho. Yeah, people equal shit, buddy. You know the score. So yeah, Among Us.
Outside.
Yeah. It's it is a really, really good game. I think the developers are about to put a lot more time into that game now that it's fucking massive. There's just been lots of memes about that, and Fall Guys as well.
Fall Guys. They're the party games. That's what it's all about. Oh, by the way, Rocket League's been kind of ruined somewhat.
Yeah,
that's a bit strong. But
my son and his mates have just been playing Rocket League like full time the past week since it went free to play.
Yeah,
oh god, there's a lot of shit in that game now.
They fucked about with it massively, and it's like either I was really used to how it was, and I'm therefore annoyed about that, or it's truly awful, and I'm annoyed about that. But either way, I'm annoyed.
We need to get our resident Rocket League legend, Mike Strider, on the case to give us his thoughts, I think, about how Rocket League's getting on.
It's going to piss off a lot of veteran players, I think, this whole thing. Although, fresh meat, so I suppose they'll be destroying people. We certainly went on an amazing run. We're rubbish, so if we win, anyone can.
Gibbons.
Just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. There's other shit to talk about, though, I guess.
Yeah, very briefly, I suppose there's PS5. I don't think we've had a pod since it was announced.
No, we haven't. Monies.
It's
everyone knows how much it is.
£350 digital, 450.
Yeah, 359, isn't it?
Yeah, 360 and 450 are the two price points. And pre-orders has been an absolute fucking mess. And the same goes for the Xbox, where that's been a complete fucking mess as well. I see Shop 2 came out today and said, surprise, everyone who's pre-ordered, you aren't guaranteed launch consoles. Might be,
of course.
We understand your frustration, they said.
Of course you do, but give me your money.
Yeah, well, you know,
fuck those
perhaps
guys.
you could argue that they've only got themselves to blame.
Ooh, hello.
Although it is the fault of the retailer for guaranteeing day one. So, you know, mixture of things there. Either way, it's the PS5. That's a good price. I think let's start there.
Very good price.
We won't dwell because everyone's had a lot of time to digest. But
everyone knows the score.
If you're sitting there thinking, do I want to pay $250 for the Series S or an extra £100 to get a full beans PlayStation? I think that's a very obvious decision that you're making there. I think it's very obvious that you go for the PlayStation over the Xbox in that circumstance.
Yeah, if you're going digital only, definitely.
Yeah, and then obviously they're bang on the money, like for like, blow for blow in the full fat version with the disc drives.
Cracking price difference though. I didn't think it was going to be that much. I thought £50 max.
Absolutely, and I suppose it just came down to the fact that they've got you by the balls if you buy that digital edition, and you have to buy all of the software off of them, and they'll make that deficit back.
They'll make it back. Yeah, exactly.
You've got no option.
I'm all right with that.
Fine by me. I don't buy anything physical anyway.
No, I haven't bought any physical. I bought Overcooked 2. That was a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I only ever buy like £4 games in CEX, and I haven't obviously done that for a while. So but yeah, I mean, you know, there's huge scope for them to fuck you hard if you do go digital. Like, in the next year or two, they can, you know, chuck the price up of things, not do the sort of sales they've been doing for the PS4 era. You never know. That's you roll the dice if you go down that road. Because it's their infrastructure and you're stuck with it. But
but surely you got to think you'd be able to buy PS4 games and play it on your PS5, wouldn't you?
Yeah, not with your PS4 Troll, but yeah, certainly with your
well,
yeah.
We won't go down there, not yet anyway.
Yeah, you can play PS4 games on PS5 with a PS4 controller, but you can't play PS5 games on PS5 with a PS4 controller. That's the state of things. The ridiculous announcements all of a sudden that they've basically been lying from the start. They have.
I love that.
Withholding in. Sorry, I retract. They've been withholding information that they claimed from the start that they were going to be making games exclusive to the PS5 because they didn't want these games to be hampered by having to work on the PS4. That was their USP over Xbox.
It's quite a good one.
Yeah, we liked it because if we're shelling out on a new console, we want games that aren't, you know, held back by the previous generation, and that's what we deserve for forking out and being early adopters. And then, obviously, suddenly it was announced that all of those games are coming out on PS4.
All of those games.
Everything is coming out on PS4 as well.
All of those games.
Yeah, and that's terrible. That's terrible news. As is the launch lineup, which is fucking pathetic. There's nothing coming out on this console day one. So two arguments for you here. Firstly, in my opinion, there is absolutely no point in picking this console up day one. There is nothing to play on it. And if your reasoning for buying a next generation console is to play your existing games better in terms of graphical fidelity, then that's a very sad jumping in point to a new generation of console technology, in my opinion.
I watched Digital Foundry's thing about the Xbox Series X, like backwards compatible skillness or oomph kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, it's doing a really good job. It's running like Xbox One X, like enhanced ones at like 60 frames, no bother, fucking solid, like at 4K. I'm like, well, that's good. That's at least what it should be doing with these games that are old. And then it did Hitman. or was it Hitman 2? Hitman or Hitman 2. And it started dropping below like 55, 54. I'm like, okay, that's a bit worrying.
And they'd argue that it's not optimized yet. And
No,
that's why
it's not optimized yet, and that's why that's happening. But still,
it's not a good look.
Yeah, no. And well, obviously this is in like 4K, like best looking mode, best like quality, not like performance mode. So it's the best it's going to look, and it should run it. And I'm like, so if I know it's not optimized yet, but what does that mean for like next gen games? Like if we're looking for 4K 60 and it's just about doing games that are like,
what
3-4 years old.
There's going to be a lot of 4K 30 is what it means.
No.
But also, I don't care about my existing games running better. I don't care.
I want my new games to run better.
I tell you, I don't care at all about my old games running better on the new console. If I'm buying a new console, it's for new, exciting games with amazing graphics.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how Gears 5 runs on the next console. I didn't want to play it on the old one. And it's the same with fucking half of the games of the existing generation. I don't care what fucking Destiny runs like on the PS5. Who gives a fuck what GTA 5 looks on a PS5?
I don't.
Who cares? Imagine if that's your reason for buying a next-gen console, if that's all you've got. Like, if that's
PC.
where you fucking... And I do want to preface this very briefly by saying to anyone who has gone in day one, anyone who's pre-ordered, I will inevitably buy one of these consoles in a year's time, and I won't pay any less than you are.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to say that, like, if you have jumped in early doors, that is absolutely your right. Fair enough. And it's not like I'm fucking playing the long game where I'm going to get 50 quid off in a year or two's time. This thing will hold its value massively because they've priced it so competitively to begin with.
Yeah,
I totally get that. And it'll be lovely for you to play your old games on the new system. That will look really nice. And there will be, over the course of a year, hopefully something worth playing on those consoles. But I mean, the PS4 wasn't a great launch lineup, but at least it had. I mean, this generation, we haven't even got the fucking third parties. We haven't even got a high res FIFA coming at launch. Like, you can't even rely on.
It's like no one's bothered.
You got Call of Duty that's just basically like, oh, brilliant! I've bought a PS5. I can run this on Ultra. If you're a PC user, that's what's happening. The PC users must be pissing themselves. Console gamers right now, like. It's madness. It's fucking pathetic. Don't let anyone tell you that a legitimate reason for buying these new consoles, like early doors, is so you can run your old games better. Why do you fucking care about that? When you got a PS1, if someone had said to you, "Oh yeah, you can play Super Mario World better on this," would you have given a flying fuck about that?
No,
like,
because I want the new Super Mario.
It's just pathetic.
I want the next
honestly.
one.
It's annoyed me. I'm annoyed. I'm perturbed.
It makes you kind of think like, are these consoles like they're moving much more like PCs with their half steps and stuff like that? Oh, here's your graphical. You can make it a bit better when you buy this one, kind of thing. And maybe that's just where it's going. Maybe that's the thing.
For PC, that's always been good enough. People get super excited about a new graphics card. I understand that. Yeah, but this is different. This is consoles. This is lengthy cycles and then innovation in between. Where's the fucking innovation? Why are you telling me that you're going to have some special sound driver that's, by the way, going to make none of my fucking stuff work? I don't care. Like, show me some exciting games. It's a horrible year for everyone. And we're in a pandemic year where millions of people have lost their jobs. If you're going to launch like fresh hardware in this fucking horrible, horrible year, at least have some games that are run at like, what are you going to play? You can't even play Bug Snacks at launch. You can't even play Bug Snacks. You can play fucking Astro fucking cunning Astro Bot.
You play Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, Call of Duty. Fuck me. Oh. Awful. So bad. Fucking, I've seen some gameplay of that Halo Infinite this week as well. Jesus Christ. I think I could got draw delayed, a better so you're game. All right there, buddy. Oh man, they're all it did get delayed. Sorry, you're absolutely right. You can't even play that.
Can't
thing
even
no one
play
wants to
that.
play. Fucking hell, just the worst. I think this is what it is to get older. Is what's happening.
Mate.
This
It's
meltdown.
like I said about like you were looking at Hot Shot Racing, going like, oh, the rubber banding. I'm like, I don't remember that when I was a kid. I was just having fun playing games.
Well,
Didn't give
I
a
think
fuck.
Tony Hawk has kind of rammed that home to me, and I probably sound a bit hypocritical in that I've basically waxed lyrical about an old game being redone like this week, and then given a massive kicking to new consoles that are essentially doing the same thing. But
Yeah, mate.
it's fun levels and excitement levels for me, and I'm just not excited about the next gen. I'm concerned with the clock speeds on the PlayStation, the number of cores. I think it's looking to me like that thing's going to bottleneck really early doors. But that doesn't really matter because there's no fucking storage on it. So you only get 3 games on it anyway. Not that there are any to install. And it's just, I just, honestly, I'm at a loss. Meanwhile, this week, of course, Microsoft bought Bethesda ZeniMax.
They did.
Several $1 billion.
Just a bit chump change.
Which, of course, is you can flip this one way or the other. It's good news because Bethesda are a bunch of fucking cowboys, and Microsoft might whip them into shape. So when they release games, they actually work. That's good. It's bad news because Microsoft has you by the balls when it comes to fairly large franchises that you might want to play, to the point where they might be console exclusive or at least timed exclusive on the Microsoft platform.
I'd go for the timed. I reckon they love the timed exclusives.
I see no reason why they wouldn't release multi-platform. They're just going to make all the money rather than some of it. So, and they're not trying to sell hardware anyway. Microsoft, they've made that abundantly clear with the fucking boring hardware they're trying to sell and the lack of games that they have. So I guess they'll be timed exclusives. Who knows? The only good bit of news I heard this week, Bethesda related, was Doom Eternal is coming to console Game Pass on Xbox in October, and I will play it, which is
seriously
cool.
Game Pass is just getting stronger and stronger with the old EA Play getting added to it, and now pretty much all the Bethesda games are going to be on there. So it's I mean, if you want to play those old games, buddy.
Yeah, I really
that's the place to do
games, it. But better. Worth mentioning PS. What's it called? PS Hits as part of your PlayStation subscription. They're going to have a sort of Game Pass for classic PlayStation 4 games. So you can
we can play Days Gone now, buddy. Can't wait.
I did look at Days Gone because it was the only game that out of the entire catalog that I haven't played.
Yeah, exactly. So we can play that.
Yeah,
but is that only if you have a PS5? I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know how it's going to work. Probably not, because everything's coming out on PS4, giving you no reason to buy a 5.
No, that's true.
PS Plus games, Need for Speed Payback and Vampire.
Get in. Bit of fucking Need for Speed. I can't wait.
Bit of Payback. I've played that game. It was horrifying.
Yeah, I'm gonna extract the enjoyment out of that motherfucker.
Yeah, you enjoy the opening 15 minutes of story beats.
Don't you worry. It's gonna be the greatest
Drink it in.
experience ever.
I think that's basically the end of our show.
That's a bit of other shit there, yeah.
I feel like I've had like a meltdown there.
Yeah, mate, you've done well. I was worried for you.
Was that all right?
I mean, totally. It's your opinion,
made some
buddy.
Good points, hopefully. I didn't piss anyone off.
Probably did.
I don't really give a fuck about that.
No, you don't.
But I hope I didn't. Yeah. I don't know,
I mean, one thing about new consoles coming out is it's like a good thing because it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
Just saying that 7 years is way too long.
I want one, and that's the same way. In the same way that I it's completely ingrained that I also want like a Happy Meal.
Oh,
I
nice.
know that it's essentially cardboard, but I still want it. And the same with the consoles. Like I'm a fucking gamer. I have been since I was 3. And I want the new consoles because they exist. I want them. Maybe Adult Brain doesn't belong in the games industry because Adult Brain is telling me that this is some happy fucking horse shit, and we're all being swindled, and there's absolutely no reason for it.
Hey, if those load times anything to go by, I'll just buy it for that.
And fucking Austin, who, by the way, I like Austin's YouTube channel, but he was showing like switching fast switching between games, between like Gears 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here like, who fucking cares?
I don't
Like,
care
who
about that.
cares?
But if
And
I can load, like, any game, what's the game where it loads? Even F1 2020, the loading on that is so long. If I can cut that by like half, I'll give you 350 quid.
yeah, bargain. I tell you what, it's usually, and this is only usually. I can't say definitively that it's never happened before, but most of the time, the number of video games that I am playing is one when I'm on my console. It's just the one.
I'm just playing one
Yeah,
at a time.
just one. And if I've got a fast SSD drive in there, buddy, and I decide I want to load another one, then that won't be an issue.
I'll just load it.
It won't be an issue because it'll be like an old game anyway, so it'll load super
But the
quick.
problem with this, I'm not. Just, the problem with the quick load and whatever transferred swappy game thing is like every fucking game's online, so it will just crash anyway. So fuck you.
It's just going to disconnect from servers. And yeah, Austin was switching between multiple games, and he was like, yeah, like there is a sort of hard limit on how many games you can switch between because obviously there's only so much like space attributed to it and cache and RAM. And I was thinking, surely you're going to hit the hard drive limit long before you hit the fucking RAM limit because you're only going to have room for about 4 things to be installed on there.
Did you see the expansion for Microsoft? Like another terabyte if you want is like $230.
Yeah, bargain.
There you go, mate. Get that down, yes, son.
Buy yourself a RAID array. That's what you want. Fucking stripe that shit. That's what you want.
I always feel better after a good podcast, buddy.
Me too, buddy. It's really quite relaxing. It's like a sort of vigorous massage. I feel much better now. And with that in mind, I'd imagine our listeners feel terrible. But thanks so much for letting us rant at you for an hour. And now we're going to fuck off.
Have a nice day.
Ending. Not even a happy ending for you. No. It's not a year for those. So here we are. We'll probably be back next week, I suppose.
Don't see why not.
Yeah, we'll probably.
I'm not going anywhere for 2 weeks, mate.
No, you're staying there, and I've been here for a very long time. So yeah. Thanks so much for listening, buddies. If you've got any comments on this show, and I'm sure that you're thinking of some now, you can always head over to our Discord and let us know what you think. We've got pod questions in there and general chat. There's people who like to have a little chat away there about the latest hot topics. So you can find the link to that via Twitch or YouTube channels, the JfG Podcast, or by heading to the jfgpodcast.co.uk / well, no, not / anything, just the jfgpodcast.co.uk. You'll find it right there.
That's our website.
It's our website. It's on the screen.
I think it's still ours. I don't know.
Probably ours.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, if it isn't, then this isn't hosted anywhere and no one hears it. So.
Oh
well. Thanks so much, buddies. We'll be back next time. Until then, I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.
Farewell.